I just sit there, I like to look out the aircraft, look at the ground, the clouds, chill out. Okay, don't get bogged down going over because you can get brain locked. And then you get out, you don't even know what the first point is. You don't even know who you're docking on. Have confidence in yourself. Have confidence. You wouldn't be on the load if the organiser didn't have confidence in it. Have confidence, and I mentioned it, have confidence in the organiser. He's put the right people in the base to give you a good fall rate. Enjoy the ride and view. I love it. I love the climb to altitude. Yeah. And relax, chill out and relax. Hey, dude. Okay, jump run. Fully kitted up, ready to go. I mean, you're ready to go. Okay, and then follow the communication plan. Anticipate, yeah. So we know, 12 grand, yeah, legs coming over. I've got over, make sure, because in these caravans when we're putting 14, 15 in, it's tight. So you could be moving around unnecessarily and cause someone pilot chute to go. So anticipate what you're doing. Okay. Once again, we all do our last jump. I do it. The last thing I do is just check my pin again and my handles. We had it last year. Martin Salisbury climbed out and somebody had dislodged his cutaway pad on the climb out. When he tracked away, he could see it, but he thought it was still holding it, pulled, and the lock went. Okay, line up order. All right, so you get into your lineup, start moving into position. It's like a jigsaw. So you're getting rid of all the gaps. Prepare to move into the exit because you can't move until the pilot's ready. You get the door open, so we open the door, then you get the green. And like we said yesterday on the safety day, green is good to go. You're clear to go, but you still need to check. And Will Cook did a great job. He would look out the door, yeah, great, and then we'd start climbing out. So we move into an exit position. Yeah. Remembering the aircraft C of G. How many, well, I'm not going to ask you because I'll be here all day. The amount of times I've been in an aircraft when we've had the stall warning go on jump run and it's threw everybody about and we've had to suddenly put the aircraft in a dive. Okay, you've got to remember that and you've got to respect it. So you can see there, we're all in the aircraft. All right, you've got these, like the line is somewhere up there. So we've still got the gaps, but this is just preparing to climb, to get out. Exit. Move into your exit position, once again, C of G. So there's your floaters to get out. There's Will giving a big old smile. Floaters, and also you've got floaters on the other aircraft, you can have a quick look. And we're looking at them in the aircraft as well, from where we are as the divers. So the floaters get out, the base, the door, and what I'm on about that, I'm not on about these guys. These are probably the hardest slots. Because when you get out, you're nearly always what I call off sync. Because you've had to get in so tight, you can't really, and sometimes it's hard to get into that dive flow, which I'll come on to in a moment. So once again, it is difficult, and you'll see this guy now, I'm not going to mention his name, but when they come out, you'll see that he's not presenting to the wind. He does his best to solve it, but because sometimes I find when I'm in that position, I like to be the other way. I like to be going. The way. Now, when I teach AFF students, and I know I have arguments with people, I don't care. But what I'm saying is, I teach my students on the level 5, level 6, the solo dive, to do a dive exit, a proper dive to the tail. Because the times I've been at the back of aircraft, and it really grips me, and I know that with a trail or the base is down there somewhere. And we're going out to the door like that, and then someone gets there and does this. And that slows us up because they're not confident. And yet I've got students on their consoles, they're diving like that, they remind me of me. So base door. So there you can see, because they've got to be like that, so sometimes I've had to do that to sacrifice the gaps less, or making less gaps in the aircraft, because it's, remember, relative work to each other. I'm thinking of the floaters and I'm thinking of the late divers. You've got to. So sometimes you've got to be the hero. Okay, and then the divers. Once again, you can see us, we still can't move, and then we start to fill the gaps. Once again, remembering the C of G. The key, so once again, if it's multi-plane, you've got to be looking Now, once again, the reason I'm telling you this, if you are just getting into it, then somebody else is a bit, but if you know the system, it makes it so much more enjoyable for you guys. You know he's going to get out. It's going to be a few seconds. I've got to get tightened up, and then if you're one of the floaters, you know that the head guy, when I'm in that position, I normally go there. So I can look at that, and then I want him in the center. Now, it still works out well, okay, just different things. So the key, so he's looked at the aircraft now. He's looked behind to try, this is the lead aircraft. He's looked at rear left, looking at rear right. He knows the front, waves the hand look, and then off we go. And you'll see now, then the exit. So once the floaters, I'm going to come on to that now. So the exit, presentation. That's just for the World Team 204. And that was the exit from the five C-130s. That's yours truly. And we've come out with these, but if you look at my position, you'll see this a bit better in a moment. I want to use that, and I'm going to show you how to cut down to make it the most efficient glide slope you can do. And I had got a photograph to put on, but I've been rushing around like a dingbat, and I forgot to put it on of the old days of the DC-3, 5 DC-3s with 30 people in each, or 20, 30, 25 something, and then having to dive down from the back. And it's a long, long, long way down. Okay, so once again, I'm going to mention this more in a moment, but one of the problems of launching things, even from caravans, is when you all know about throw forward, right? When we're flying forward, and then you get out, and the throw forward with the speed, it's still going to take you forward. And the way to stop that as a diver, going back to my position, which I'll show you again in a moment, is to de-arch, getting a de-arch, to kill it. These guys, in effect, are already in a de-arch. And that's why, any time, and I've done it at Paris, Seals, Dane, everywhere, this, look at the big gaps from the lead aircraft. Because this has gone away, and the initial people end up going low, or but because they're experienced skydivers, they know that they need to stick their legs out, de-arch, and they've got to get back up on that glide slope, which I'll come on to. Okay. So once again, this is us leaving the caravan. So once again, this is the guy I was telling you about. You can see now he's on his side. He's now lost all his space, or his, what do you call it? Platform, if you like, to get out there, his body shape. So he drops down again, drops again, and now he's low. It's all to do with presentation. And once again, we've got the floaters going up. Now, one of the things that we do a lot of now when we're floating is the original what we used to do in the old days, and I still prefer that. So when I'm organising it, I'm not saying this is wrong, because we did what we did, but different strokes for different folks. And what I like to do is imagine now I'm in the middle, when I come off, I surf back to the divers. And the floaters, and I think later on I've got one of a cameraman, and they've already got the legs out, because what's happening is they're coming down because this guy's gone low. Which means, as we come out, because there's the gap, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh that's 6, yeah, and then look at the gap, but then it gets worse. So, and then you'll see, once again, so that's that. So relative wind, you can see, look at this now, how that's gone. These guys are diving down, and then what they're going to do, they're going to come around this way towards the radials. But look at the gap. That's out of a Skyvan. You see that? The way to stop that is de-arch on exit, and we'll come on to that in a moment. Okay, so relative wind, so there we are again. And I brought my little model. I was going to do it myself, but I always end up falling over. But you'll see that shot again from the middle anyway. So there you go. So when you get out, you go in sort of like that position as best you can. So you get out, you dive out. So, and I think I've got a picture of me diving. So there you go. as a diver, you want to think there's a bar. Not a bar that you go drinking in, but a metal bar or a wooden bar or a high jump. And you want to go over that bar. Whether it's a caravan, Skyvan, C1, especially C130. Okay, so you dive out, and as you go out, you dive in over the bar. And once you get out, you keep your head back. Once again, I'm going to use the word relative work. You cannot dock on something you can't see, so it's relative. You are going to probably lose them slightly. As you come out the aircraft, you're going to go right head down, but I say look through the top of your helmet. So as soon as you get, and I call it the bounce, you go out, it bounces you, you keep your arms in that position. You see there, and then you go over like that, and then you'll see, oh, one more, that's it. But because it was taken off of somebody behind me with a camera, and in fact it was Bruno, and he just loved my exits. And then what happens is, once you do that, you get the bounce, and what you're doing, guys, if I can do this, I always get these legs wrong way around. All right, so you're like that as you go out, and you're looking where you are, and it's called the big X. So you're like that, and then you come out, and what that does, that's killing the throw forward, which means it means that you've got a better chance of getting there, especially if they've launched a 6, 4 and 8 way. And you normally find you pass people, and then you go into a no lift dive and swoop down. Right, I've got to rush, guys. I've got about 10 minutes left. In fact, there's nobody on after me, is there? Right. So, target acquisition, and what I mean by that is, guys, it's a target in as much as when you got out, you need to know where it is. So, this is what I'm saying about relative work with each other. Relative works with the aircraft. If I know I've come out, and a lot of people got injured on the C-130, not exiting right, even though we told them how to do it, but any aircraft, you can get tumbling. But if you know where the aircraft is and where the ground is, if I'm tumbling, I know when I come out, I don't have to get big to go, where am I? I can come out, yeah, oh, there it is, yeah, whoosh. Like I was going to say something else, but I can't. Right, so you're looking to where you've got to go. You can see how it's surfed away. And there, look at that. So you've got one guy there, you probably listened to one of my seminars, going to be the art, to get out with it. And then you start doing your dive down. This was George, Augusta. Okay. All right, so you're starting to look. And then what I call the route to the formation. Now this is what we've already done on the dirt dive. So it should give you a good idea. Yeah, I'm going down 6 to 9 or 3 to 6 or whatever. Okay, so the route to the formation then. Identify your quadrant. So wherever you are, you've got to find out. And I think we were the trail aircraft on that, weren't we? One of the trail. But we had to come out and dive out and then go a long way around to come across. It was a long, long way. There's us last year, and there's the base formation. And then off we go as we go down. See people coming out, they know where they've got to go. They're all ready. And it's big, big movements, guys, to stop them slides. Now I hear some people when they're coaching, you know, try this out, try that out, and it doesn't matter if you skid past and you're flailing around. I totally disagree with that. Teach them the right way. Get down, stop, and I call it the 50% rule, and I'll come on to that when we're doing the diving. So you stop, cruise all the way in, onto your lock, stop, point of domination, then go in. Okay. Because there's nothing worse than people flailing around. Right, so there's us. That was our quadrant. Because look, aircraft heading, 12 o'clock, there's Will. So even look at the gaps there, look. In fact, no, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that's Will, that's Will. Okay. Okay, so you identify the quadrant. Now that was a shot from my camera, and I've got this on film later on, so you'll see it. Okay, and once again, I just wanted to show you again how you do it. All right, now, there's aircraft heading, 12 o'clock, speaks for itself. So you've got, in there, you've got your quadrants, and then as you break each pie down, you can say, well, I'm in section sector 3 and your sector 4, whatever. And then as you get in closer, you've got your radial. So the most efficient flight path, and I'm going to show you that in a moment on another slide, but we've already gone through it. So you've already visualized, you've done your dirt dive. When I'm dirt diving, I'm visualizing I'm in free fall. And I think, yeah, here we go. I've got to stop now, put the anchors on, get all the way around, stick the legs out, stop. There's my quadrant. Right, start moving in, boom, boom, boom. Sector, boom, 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 boom. Radial, boom, boom, I'm in. Okay, so, and I'll show you that in a moment. The stadium effect. You've all seen the stadium. That's why I wanted you all to be in the center. Now, this is done once again with one of my cameras, I think my camera. But what I wanted to show you is in this stadium now, I want you all to stand up. Please, all stand up. Right, now, my camera is on my chin, is on my mouthpiece. That now, these people here, you're all too low. You're all too low. You people at the back, you're on the lowest part of the sky. So I was going to use the pointer then, but I'll come running up. So if you look at where I was on the stage, this, guys, is about, even this, we're right on from here. I mean, as you get closer, you'd have to be closer in, but this here is about the limit. You do not, guys, want to be lower than this when you're going into the slot. Okay, you need to be what I call in the point of domination, and I'll cover that in a moment. Does that make sense? That's why I want to do it. So this, believe it or not, is about 25 degrees. Do not go lower than this. So if we're in this group now, what we need to do is get on our glide slope. And in fact, I'd even say this is probably pushing it to get into a big formation. And now we get on our glide slope, guys, and you'll see me do it in a minute. We stick our legs out, bit of a D-arch. Don't even think of that down there. Get back up on the glide slope. Ideal is about 40 degrees. Anywhere between 30 and 60 is a great reference. No higher than 60, because if it suddenly moves, you can drop on it. 60 is good. Once again, it depends. Sorry guys, I'm Russian. I mean, I'm English, I'm not Russian, I'm Russian. So, I'm trying to cram a lot. And my dad told me years ago, for those who remember the old pound, shillings and pence, you can't cram a quart into a pint pot, some it will spill. So I'm really skipping through some of this, and I'm also trying to work on the bits that I think will help you. So you've got to get on that side, and I'll come on to that. Once you're in that, you can see these stadiums. And you'll see, and even on the Brit 100, it took us so long, people were on the glide slope too low. We had a lot of people to go out. We got it on the last jump for the last day. And so even you'll see some of these, I've got videos of some of these, I've got time to show it, and they take each other out. Because when you're up on that glide slope, between 30 and 60 degrees, 40 to 45 is ideal, and you'll see me coming in. It means you have got insurance, because altitude is insurance. That's why I hate these people that say, oh, you know, they get down and they're flailing around. There's nothing wrong with that when we're learning, guys. But don't go out. If you're going to go out to stop, go out and learn the proper technique to stop. Getting your point of domination, and your point of domination is always changing until it's time to pounce. So, identify your sector. So this is me, and we've got this on video, you'll see in a minute. But I was trying to do it down in stages for you guys. So you can see there now. Now, I'm actually higher than it looks there. It's my camera's down here. When it's on the top of my head, you think I'm too steep. So once again, I've identified my sector. Once again, locate your radial. So as you can see, you're a long way out, but this is called what we call the sheepdogging. And we're over there somewhere, coming down that way, I think we are, we? Somewhere like that. Always this us. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, locate your radial. Now the point of domination. I love this. And it's where you are ready to pounce. And the ideal is 45 degrees, as I said. 15 feet out, 15 feet up. 20 feet out, 20 feet up. And that way then I can sit there. If there's any washing about, or if people, because I like to be patient, but sometimes you have to go in there, but you give them room. 15 feet out is a good position to stop if you're fast, but you're already there before someone else. And you can sit there, yeah, here we go, cool. And then I say you give them room to pass. And then as soon as they're in, you swoop in and you're the hero. So that's what it means, the point of domination. It means if I'm down where you lot are now, sorry, I shouldn't point it. I've pointed at the chairs, but where I showed you, you start coming in like this, you've got no insurance. All you can see is this target fixation. And I think on one of the videos I've got two of the Swedes who come in and take each other out. Costs us a record. I mean, we've got the record in the end. I love it. I don't do it for the record, I do it for the journey and the jumping and everything else. So up there on that perch, what I call it, perch, golden eagle, point of domination. You're cool and groovy, you sit there, you look at me. People think I'm not cool and groovy because I jump a racer. I don't care what I look like. I don't care, but I'm good in the air. Some of these cool and groovy, you've heard the saying, got all the gear, no idea. They look cool and groovy, look at me, I go, and they don't know how to do it. So that's where you need to be cool and groovy, guys, in the sky. Okay, glide slopes. So the most efficient way is when you get out the aircraft, this is what people think they're doing in the red dotted line, but what actually happens is you actually get in throw forward. You doing that D-arch when you get out, and I do it even when I'm diving in the door, because I know they're going to be gone. But he should be coming back up to me when I'm in that position, diving out. Sometimes I'm diving out the base, but if I'm on the base or the organizer, I like to see everything, and I can key it and I can control it. So when I get off, I see where my floaters are yet, and I start surfing back towards the divers. So the most efficient way, and then from there you can come down to your formation. Another trick you can do, once you do this, you start going round on your radar to this side or down into that side. And what I do, but you need experience and you need to know what to do. Come in, but keep quiet. Turn your phones off, and stay away from my gang. And what you can do when you get better, more efficient, and I get guys when I run organised events, I'll get people, and you can do it up to about a 20, 24 way. And what I do is, when I told you about the glide slope, so imagine now, that's the, let's do it on the next one. No, I'll do this one first. So what I do, I come out, I D-arch, I go screaming down straight at the formation where I need to go. And at about 50, 60 feet, depending on the formation, I turn. I do a 180. So imagine that's the formation. I've got all this on video, but it's just too much. I've got 2 minutes left, but I can wait. And so what I do is you go along, and about 50 feet out, 50 or a bit higher, I just turn. As I'm getting to the front, I turn, go over the top. The burble will take me down a bit. I stick my legs out, and then I'm right on my quadrant where I need to be. So you can try that, guys. Anybody, when I'm organising, I'm quite happy for people to try it. And it works well, but you've got to have the speed. If you haven't got the speed, you're going to drop straight through the middle of it, and you've gone from hero to zero. Right, the least efficient and slow, and it's actually further, is when you don't de-arch, because you come out the aircraft and it's taking you with a throw forward, and then you do this long, long swoop like this, and you've actually gone further. And then the most dangerous way, and I've had people, and I said, why do you keep, and they said, oh, well, I dived out, and I dived down for 15 seconds, and then I flared out, and I was going below it. I went, what? And I've seen that on many, many camps all over the world. And they don't look, because they were taught, when you get out, just get your head down, chin on your chest, and do a dive, no lift dive. You cannot do relative work with something you can't see, and it's dangerous. I've been on 2 jumps, or I've done more than 2, obviously, but where we've had fatalities caused by that. Okay, so, and you're going the long way, but it's dangerous. People think it's the fastest. It's not. It's not. Okay, so there's the glide slopes, guys. So this is too low to begin with. There's the level of the formation, and I'm going to come on to the final docking in a moment, but there's the optimum glide slope. So the steepest, I would say, is about 60 degrees, guys. Once again, I've been on formations that were really slow, and we were big like that, just slowly coming down, so we were a little bit higher, but we were never more than 60. And then There, up there, you're looking at about 30 degrees, 25, 30 degrees. And when you stop, when you come out, and I come up when you're diving, oh, hang on. So diving again. So what I call the 50% rule, which I wanted to mention to you, when you've come out, and I do it now, guys, from the time you've come out, what I call the bounce to dive, and you see the formation, you measure it in your mind, subconsciously, and at 50%, what you think that is, you flare out. So you come out, you see where you're going, you go into your no-lift dive, and you dive. And as I get to about 50%, and it's approximate, I come out and I flare, and I'm like that, because I've built up a lot of speed. And the momentum will take me about another 20, 30%. And that puts me into my point of domination, normally 20 feet out, 20 feet up. And you'll see this in a moment, because you'll see me swoop straight in. Okay, so the 50% rule, think of that of divers. Okay, so docking, final approach then, straight in. So you've come out, this is where the aircraft flying was that way. We've come out and we've come all the way around here. I've got the corner, and then all I'm doing now is stop in my point of domination. Getting ready, going a bit closer, straight in. Now if you're doing a docking where you're doing a different type of dock, maybe a donut type of thing, is when you fly straight into the slot, stop, turn, and then pick your grip up. Don't try and come in sideways. Okay, straight in. Match the fall rate. Okay, no momentum docks. Grip management. I always like to say, it's hard sometimes when you're coming in to get both grips together. I always say, and if I'm doing a sequential or anything like that, outside, inside, check. But what I do on here, I always go for a left-handed grip first. Why do you think? Honey, look. So I come in, I fly in, stop, taking my grip, I come in, left, right, check, looking in the centre. And you see, I come in, as I'm doing that, and with a quick look, yeah, my hand's on it, oh, 11.5. Okay, and then there's my left grip, then I'm looking, taking the right grip, and then I'm in, and now I'm flying the formation, so I'm going to have to rush, guys, so we didn't start till on time, mate, because they were late, so they can wait. Right, flying the formation, yeah, match the fall rate, yeah. Look to the centre. Now, in a moment you'll see me when I'm checking the grips, but, oi! Oi! Keep quiet! Anyway, so look to the centre. You very rarely, I never start looking round because I'm waiting for the key. I have got to fly that slot. Fly the formation. Be adaptable. You may have to start moving things. You know, anticipate. Oh, it's floating up, I need to arch more. Oh, it's floating, I need to de-arch. Try and keep your arms about 90 degrees and control it light on the grip. Legs, you may have to stick your legs out, but you don't want to implode on the formation. Sometimes we may drop our knees a bit just to put a little bit of tension in on. Okay, tracking and deploying then. Okay, follow the plan. Dirt dive, remember the dirt dive. So with that, you're planning the dive, and when you go up to skydive, you dive the plan. So that's how you should think about visualization. So there's the break off, the tracking. Okay, the correct altitude. If they say we're going to break off at 5.5, no one goes earlier because it causes panic. Panic breeds panic. So wait to set the key. When I said about the communications plan, the key is going to be maybe a kick in a big shape from one person. It may be a pilot chute going out, depending on how big the formation is. Okay, correct altitude, flat turn and track. I mean by that is when you come out of it, a lot of people go straight into a turn and they go straight down like that and then track and they've not gone anywhere and we don't know what they're going to do. So when you come out of the formation, depending on what it is, I only like to turn left once again because I can see my altimeter, but sometimes I might be turning right. And stay big, as you turn, stay big, straighten your legs, get the speed going and then bring your arms up and you'll see a track in a minute. Okay, good wave off and pull, risers, be ready for any eventuality and all around observation. Right, I'll quickly show you this video, guys. And this was us last year, a bit loud. Thanks. So you can see the centre, gravity, we're at the back, we can't go yet, we can't move up, and then we start to move. You can see how slow it is. Now, there is the formation down there. You can see everybody diving. I'm diving down now, cutting the corner. Big arc, I have to do that, and then I'm coming in, straight in on the, that's the camera shake, guys. It came off after this jump, and then I'm coming straight in, right to right, all the way, match the fall rate, left, right, and then I do have a quick look to see who's in, and then we're waiting now. Okay, and then we have the track off. So we just go, once again, if you're doing sequential, anticipate to where you want to be, don't all chase it. So there's us there now for the second point. There's Langer. And then we go to the third point. So once again, anticipate, don't chase it because you have to back up. That's why we lie it down, so you know where you're going to be. And then we're tracking off. There's Alice still up. So everybody's gone in the direction. I'm tracking with my left, looking at him, still giving it rock all. I love tracking. And then a quick wave off and pull. And then once again, get your risers. Right, flight drills then, I'll quickly scoop through this, guys. Sliders, yeah, pull your sliders down, but I mean, or collapse them again if you need to, but make sure you've got control and you're going in a clear space. I have seen people with canopy collisions because they were too busy taking the sliders down, too busy trying to get the booties off. So once you're in your clean space, the world team at one stage said, no sliders coming down, no booties. And I went, oh, that's a bit much, because some canopies you have to come in with a bit of speed. And as long as you do it right, guys, it's safe. Okay, booties, racetrack effect. So they will tell you what the landing pattern is. And on these, it's no, when you come into land, I think I've got it here, it's no more than a 90-degree final turn. Yeah, final turn. We're not ice hoops landing. At the World Team 206, World Team 204, I grounded, once again, 2 really high-class jumpers because they were doing 270s. And they nearly had it. Well, in fact, one hit one of the guys on the ground. And they said, do you know who I am? I said, yeah, of course I know you. I'm not going to mention his name. Good friend of mine. He says, well, he said, do you know who I am? I said, yeah, I know you are. And you're not going on the next jump. So, and it stopped it. After that, no one ever did it because they thought, don't have the wrath of Dane. But we've got to keep it safe. Okay, all around observation, all the way to the ground. All right, and then the final bit, check-in. All right, very important, guys. I've been on a couple of jumps where we've had fatalities. We didn't even know they were dead. One in Paris, one in Zeals. And the one in Paris was there for about 20-30 minutes. A driver was driving past and saw what looked like something coming down, and then phoned up the drop zone, because at that point then, there was a check-in, but sometimes they didn't. Some people say, oh, you check in for me, and they forget. So if you are going to get your buddy to check in, just say, all right, Chris, yeah, if you check in, I'll check you in, and make sure you do. It's the only way we can account for everybody. So you've got to check in. Video debrief, okay? So you're doing the debrief. The feedback from the team. So we're getting the team, you know, and it's constructive, debrief. All right, and then any questions. Okay, guys, I've got about 2 minutes for a quick question. Anybody got any questions? I've had to rush that, guys, so I've cut out some of the video. Has anybody got any questions? Good. Was that straightforward? Yeah. Did you learn something? Yeah. You're all going to be better skydivers? Yeah. Oh, yes! Let's have a bit of fun. Right, thank you very much. Yes, really. No, but yeah, I know, mate.